All right, good morning, almost afternoon, folks. Coming to you live from the Hunt Armory in the city of Pittsburgh for today's matchup between the visiting Rochester Junior Americans and your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Squad. As we are about a minute and a half away from face-off. So just to forewarn you, we're having some issues with the Bluetooth stereo system here at the arena today. So we had to plug in the sound system right behind me. So we're going to be doing double duty here, some commentary, spinning some records as well. So with both of those jobs, I probably won't be doing either particularly well today. But this is going to be the first of three matchups this weekend. It's also the third time that we have taken on the Rochester Junior Americans this year. First time was up in Niagara Falls in a quarterfinal matchup. The Pens were victorious 5-1 before seeing this same hockey club again in the championship game of the Midwinter Classic, which resulted in a 4-3 victory, a late go-ahead goal by number 12, Owen Mulligan, to give the Pens a 4-3 win that day and their second consecutive championship. And here we are for one more time, one more homestand against the Rochester Junior Americans. And we're set to start here in under 15. All right, folks, we're set to have our opening face-off here today. It looks like Riker Ferguson's going to draw in, flanked by Owen Mulligan and Brooks Gaworski on the backside. Number 43, Grant Loya. Number 77, CJ Nanavisa. Puck is dropped, and we're underway here from Hunt Armory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Grant Loya is going to go back to retrieve this opening face-off. And it's now behind the net here. I'm going to have to pause here to move forward. I was in a bad angle there. Now we're good to go as Brooks Gaworski is going to backhand this up ahead to Owen Mulligan. It's out of his reach, and it's going to come across and just out of the zone here as number 72, Pelucio, is going to pick it up. But we're going to have an offsides call here as the Pens were in ahead of the play. Easton Borman steps in for this draw, now flanked by Connor Wilson and Sawyer Phillips on the backside. Nico Stark and Wyatt Frankfield's going to come back to center now. Number 3, Sawyer Phillips backhands it softly off the boards. It reaches the destination. Number 8, Connor Wilson sends it in behind the Rochester American netminder. Number 12 for the Americans tries to work behind his own net. It's going to be picked off momentarily by Sawyer Phillips. Brought back to center by the speedy defenseman, number 97, who played a couple of quality games against the Pens so far this year. But he's rubbed out there as Nico Stark's going to come and pressure him on the boards. Puck's going to come behind, drag Centering pass is going to be picked off by number 4, Wyatt Frankenfield. Man falls down. That's Connor Wilson. Puck's going to be reversed back to Frankenfield. He's going to face some pressure now, as it's going to be forced back into the neutral zone, freshly on the bench, or off the bench for the Americans. Number 8, he's going to enter the zone with speed. Pens are caught changing here. Welch is going to come over. He gets a stick on that shot. Goes off the right pad of Dragosic. Kicks out to number 86, who's going to try and work this along. Picked off by Wilson. He has his pass picked off now, as Welch is trying up his man in the slot. And the Rochester Junior Americans going to have the puck forced here to the near wall. Blake Parrish tries to work it out of the zone. It's going to be held in by number 8. Comes back to center. Out of the reach of Frankenfield. Hard shot in on net. Juicy rebound there. Swallowed up by Dragosic. He gets the cover. And we're going to have a D-zone draw here coming up. 13-12 now to go in the first period. Rochester Junior Americans going to step in to take this draw against number 93. That's Riker Ferguson. Puck is dropped here, back underway, as the puck's going to be sent behind the Penguin net. Number 19, Bingham Green's going to come over and try and retrieve this puck. He's facing some pressure, gets it up to Nenevise, and Nenevise is trying to move it along. It's going to come to open ice to Noah Walsh. He's going to get his head up, goes off the stick of Blake Parrish. Parrish stays with it. He falls down now. It's going to be brought right back in, as number 17 has his pocket picked by number 19. That's Bingham Green. Bingham Green's going to reverse back. Pens haven't been in action here for the last couple of weeks, as Ferguson's going to move it over to Welch. Welch up to Parrish. It's going to be a light pass, though, easily picked off, as Parrish goes back and he retrieves that puck. Tries to work it around number 98. Nothing doing now, as 98's going to bring it right back into the Penn zone, as Welch is on his horse to catch up to number 88. He's going to force him to the outside. Centering pass in the skates of defenseman number 77, Nenevisa. He tried to curl around him, man, loses the puck now, as the Rochester Junior Americans have controlled the play here early on, the first couple minutes of the contest. Bingham Green's trying to change that as he sends it back to center, just behind left winger Blake Parrish. He rubs out a man as he tries to body that puck forward. Now comes to Noah Welch. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to send it up to Parrish. Goes behind his equipment. It's going to go all the way down for an icing call now. And it's going to be another D-zone draw to the left of netminder number 29, Max Dragosic. On to take this draw is number 74, Easton Borman, against number 3 for the Junior Americans. Conversation here, actually a puck exchange here by the officials, as we are set and ready to go. 11:59 to go in the first period. Puck is dropped. It's going to be won cleanly back by the Junior Americans. They try to deflect it further on. 97, he's got wheels. He's pressured by number 12, Owen Mulligan. He sends it right back in behind Dragosic. Back to retrieve this is number 43, Grant Loya. Overskates it momentarily. Kicks out. Good pad save there by Dragosic. Had to be alert during that wrap attempt by the Junior Americans. Going to be sent back to the point man, number 12. Pressured by our own number 12, Owen Mulligan. He just wheels it behind Dragosic. Back to retrieve that puck is Loya. He falls down, though, as it looks like Easton Borman's applying pressure now below the goal line. 11:25 and counting here in the first period. It's Borman that wins that puck battle. Sends it behind Mulligan. Mulligan forces back to the neutral zone, kicks right back into the zone where Grant Loya, he tries to wheel it around a couple guys. He finds Brooks Gaworski, but officials are going to say he was up ahead of the play. So another offsides call here early in the game against the Pens, as Ferguson's going to step in, flanked by Phillips and Wilson. On the backside, Welch and Frankenfield. And it's going to be another offsides call. And we're going to do it all over again. Another face-off here. Riker Ferguson giving some instructions to his D-pairing, as the officials going back over to Dragosic, slowly lumbering to pick up that puck. And he's going to bring it back to his official partner. 11:08 to go in the first period now. And let's do it all over again. Ferguson steps in for the draw. Puck's going to be one forward here. Connor Wilson's going to bring it into the zone. Leaves it for Welch. Welch loses that in his skates. He's going to wheel it right back down. It's going to be picked off, but over to help out is Ferguson. As the puck's going to come back to center now, as Frankenfield lifts the stick of a man. It's going to be assessed a penalty here as he pulled a man down here going to the net. And Wyatt Frankenfield's going to go to the box here. As the Penn's going to be short-handed here, I believe for the next 90 seconds. Penalty killing unit. Looks like Bingham Green, CJ Nenavisa, Blake Paris, and Noah Welch as the net's put back in the moorings. And in net, of course, number 29, Max Dragosic. Puck's going to be won back to defenseman number 7. 7's going to throw it down into the zone, deeper in the zone. Still, Penn sitting back here, being disciplined in this penalty kill. So it's going to be worked behind the net. Nenavisa forces his man's pass through the slot here. 7 long shot taken, gloved down cleanly by Dragosic. 10:23 now to go. 1:13 to go on the penalty kill to Frankenfield. Blake Paris is going to step in for this draw. Paris is able to win this back to the wall here. Puck battle ensues as it's going to be brought behind Dragosic up through the slot to 97. Blake Paris tried to get it in front of that shooting lane. It's going to be shot wide of the net. Good play there by Blake to force his man to shoot that wide. 97 now has the puck again. He's going to send it in. Backdoor pass attempt. Evades everybody. As number 18 loses the puck here. Good stick there by Blake Paris. He's going to take the heat out of a hot kitchen there. And that looked like an offsides play, and it is. As 17 brought that in while he was still in the zone. 9:52 now to go in the first period. 42 to go on the PK to Wyatt Frankenfield. Penalty killing unit gets changed up here. Mulligan and Gaworski on with Loy and Stark now. Puck's going to be sitting at center here. It's going to be brought in by Krieger, number 21. He's going to be forced to the wall by Stark. Krieger is able to work that puck around Stark now as it comes deep into the zone. And it's now coming high to the point now where they go D to D. Rainbow shot taken, goes wide of the net. Stark on to get this puck. Tries to force it up the wall. Going to be reversed back over to Loya now. Loy gets his head up, finds Brooks Gaworski. He's got Mulligan going with him. He's going to give it to Mulligan. He's going to come in 2-on-2 now. He works it around everybody. 8 to go on the PK here for the Penn's Elite squad. Mulligan runs into a guy. He falls down as the junior Americans look to start the transition out of the zone. Penn's back to 5-on-5 action. Frankenfield goes to the bench. Stealing the puck now is Grant Loya. Loya's going to bring it in. He's got some speed. He's going to go around the defender. Goes around 2 guys. Backhanded in on net. And Grant Loya tucks it in behind netminder number 31. And the Pens are rewarded with that PK with a goal of their own. That's number 43, Grant Loya, giving the Pens a 1-0 lead here. 8:59 to go in the first period, live from the Hunt Armory in Pittsburgh, PA. Grant Loya, the goal scorer, opening up here for the Pens Elite squad today. Borman cleanly wins this back. He wins it so clean it goes all the way back behind netminder Dragosic. Welch is going to go back and retrieve this puck. He leaves it for Borman. Borman's going to send it up to Phillips now. Over to try and get to that puck was number 8, Connor Wilson. It's going to be sent across into the junior Americans zone here as they try to work it back. It's going to be held in nicely by Wilson and Phillips. This is the Wilson-Phillips line. On with Borman here. As it's going to be brought now as the winger's going to try Welch. Goes off his equipment and goes wide of the net now. Junior Americans pick it up behind Dragosic. It's going to be forced in off of the stick of Welch and out the far side now. As it's sitting in the slot right now, it goes under a stick of a couple of Pens players as Borman's going to pick it up. He headmans it. He's got Wilson streaking for this puck. And there's going to be an icing call here against the Pens Elite squad. So D-zone draw coming up. 7:58 now to go in the first period. Pens leading 1-0 on a Grant Loya goal. Riker Ferguson's going to step in for this draw now. as Riker Ferguson's able to try to get to the draw himself. It's going to be sent right back down to Nico Stark, Penn's defenseman. He's going to wheel it behind to his D partner. Racing over that is Frankenfield. But it looks like we have a hooking call here that's going to be assessed against the Junior Americans. As the Pens killed off a PK earlier in the first period, they're going to be rewarded by their own power play here coming up. Riker Ferguson steps in for the draw, flanked by Paris and Green on the backside. That's Stark and Frankenfield. Minute 30 on the power play timer. As it's going to be won by the Junior Americans who try to go D to D behind their own net. Green gets over there to hold this puck in. He's helped out now by number 93. That's Riker Ferguson. He's in a puck battle along the wall. It's going to be sent up the bench area where Frankenfield tries to pin his man in. He does momentarily, but it's going to be forced back to center. Back to cover up here is number 7, Nico Stark, and number 25, Blake Paris. Paris is going to send it through the neutral zone. It's going to deflect off of a Junior American player, so no icing going to be called. 55 now to go on the Pens power play. We're approaching the 7-minute mark of the first period where Paris and Ferguson battling for this puck here on the near wall. Comes up the half wall now as Ferguson tries to angle his man towards the wall, but that's Moran's going to send it all the way down behind Frankenfield. Rochester player gets behind him. Soft shot on net. Dragic had to be alert for that one. 35 to go on the Pens PP. As Frankenfield's trying to steal this puck back, it's going to be Riker Ferguson, centerman, that gets that puck possession back. He's going to headman it up to Mulligan. Mulligan's going to come in 1-on-2 now. He's going to take it wide. Goes around everybody, takes it behind the net. Still has this puck. He's looking for Lane. It's going to go off the stick of Loya and back to center where 77 Nenavais is going to pick this up. Penn's looking for their first shot at this power play. I believe, I could be mistaken here, I believe they just have the one shot today, the Grant Loya shot that found the back of the net earlier in the first period. We're back to 5-on-5 action, comes out in the slot. Still kicking around there. Grant Loya's going to pinch down the wall now. He's going to take it along the goal line. Grant Loya's looking for more, backhands it in. Good left pad save there by netminder number 31 as Borman, who was covering the point, is going to send this down. Shot off the mask by Mulligan now. And he's going to try and retrieve this puck himself. He's going to be helped out now by Borman. Borman and Mulligan converge with a couple of bodies here for the Rochester Junior Americans. As it's now going to come up the half wall. Gaworski tried to keep it in, unable to do so. Comes back to center. Nenavais is going to mail this back into the Rochester zone and go for a couple Pens go for a change there. But it's Mulligan's going to headman this up just out of the reach of Gaworski. Gaworski, though, applying some pressure there on the forecheck. As the Pens are able to now complete their change, as Sawyer Phillips comes over, he forces 98 to the wall. As Riker Ferguson goes back, he wheels it behind his net. He's going to reverse it back. He's going to be bumped into, though. Nothing called. 5:11 to go in the first period. It's going to be sent behind the Pens net. No, Welch is going to go back and pick up this puck. He's got some time. He gets his head up. He's going to skate this out. He's going to lose the puck there. Not a lot of urgency there by 14 Noah Welch on that play, as it's going to be sent back to the point. As it's going to be shot wide of the net. And D-man, number 8, pinching down, goes off a couple of bodies. Wide open net there. Good stick by Connor Wilson to tie up the shooting lane. It's going to go high in the slot. Number 7, long shot taken off the equipment of Loya. Loya's going to send this up to Wilson. Referee's hand goes up for an icing as this is going to go all the way down the ice. And Pens are going to be guilty of an icing call. 4:29 to go in the first period. Pens with a 1-0 lead. 2 shots in the game for the Pens, both by Grant Loya. Puck is dropped here. It's going to be won by Borman. He's going to go back and retrieve this. He's going to take it up to Welch. Welch is going to send this through the center to a streaking Bingham Green. Green's going 1-on-3. He's going to bounce this puck deep into the zone now. Goes back and goes to work here. He reverses up, stops back, looks for Paris. Still has the puck. Finds Paris. Just goes under his stick, though. Good look there by Bingham Green as it's going to be brought back to center. Good back check by Easton Borman now. He's going to go back. He's tripped up as the Junior American's going to bring this in around everybody. Right pad save there by Dragosic as it comes back to Bingham Green. Bingham Green goes behind. Nice little seam pass off the stick of Paris. It's going to be brought right back into the zone by Costanza, number 12. As it's retrieved by number 25, Blake Paris. He's knocked off the puck by Peluzio, number 72. But in ahead of the play was number 3, Blakely. So another offsides call. And another neutral zone faceoff here as we approach the later stages of the first period. 3:41 now on the clock. Riker Ferguson steps in for this draw, flanked by Mulligan and Gaworski on the backside. Is Stark and number 43, Grant Loya. Stark, he curls back into his own zone. Number 12, he sends it up to him. That's Mulligan. Mulligan loses that puck, though. Ferguson's bumped into, picked up now by Nico Stark. Stark's going to backhand this up to 43. That's Gaworski. And ahead of the play, another offsides call. And another neutral zone faceoff here coming up. So we're going to do it again. Same 5 on the ice for the Pens. Puck is dropped here. Going to be won by the Junior Americans. Going to come in 1-on-2 as 86 is trying to work around Loya. He forces his man wide. But it's going to be picked up now by Ferguson. Goes through a couple of skates of some Junior Americans. He's going to come in 1-on-2, 1-on-3 now as it's going to be picked up by the Junior Americans. They will it behind their net here to the half wall. Mulligan's over to apply some pressure. Going to be held in by Stark. Stark's going to send it in behind netminder number 31. On to pick it up for the Junior Americans. Number 9, he sends it to his center as it's going to go from the centerman over to 19. Borman comes over to force his man to the wall. Centering pass, wide open the slot there momentarily. Can't get a shot off was Junior American number 86. He lifts the stick of Mulligan. Mulligan is able to get this puck back to center here. It's brought right back in. Junior Americans definitely are not sitting back today as Borman now has his pocket picked. 18 sends it over the head of a bunch of players here as it goes to the far wall. It's going to be knocked right back in. Junior Americans have controlled much of the play here in the first period. As it's going to go behind the net now and over to the stick of defenseman Nico Stark. Stark's going to try a clear attempt, but it's held in nicely by Costanza 12. Our own number 12, Owen Mulligan's going to send it all the way down the ice. This is going to be another icing call here against the Pens. So we're going to have a face-off here to the left of netminder number 29, Max Dragosic, who's been forced to be sharp here in the first period. 2:02 on the clock. Ferguson steps in for the draw. Pens get set. Puck is dropped. As Pens are battling for it behind the net, that's Welch and Ferguson's going to be sent up the wall here to Frazier. Frazier, point man's going to send it right back down here where it goes behind the net, where Nenevise is on to pick up this puck. He's going to reverse it now. He's looking for a pathway. Goes to Ferguson. Ferguson tries to work it back to Nenevise. Is going to pick it up himself now. Goes over to his winger. That's Connor Wilson. Wilson tries to go behind the net. It bumps off the back of the net here. As Sawyer Phillips is able to work to Connor Wilson. Wilson gets behind everybody. He's in all alone here. Connor Wilson takes a shot just off the bar and bounces off the glass behind the net now. Good chance there for number 8, Connor Wilson. As it's going to be worked back to center, back covering the D zone is Easton Borman. Borman's going to wheel it behind the net. Goes off the shin guard of the Rochester Junior American player. Nenevisa back in his D position is going to move it along the boards to Wilson. Wilson can't get clear of the zone, though, as it's going to be the stick of Borman. Pens may have a 2-on-1 chance here as Borman's going to try the Junior American defender. He's going to go wide on him. He's got Phillips going with him. Borman looks to backhand it just over the net, though, as Phillips is on to get this rebound. Pens looking to sustain some pressure here, have not been able to do so. As it's going to come back here to Connor Wilson. Wilson, long shot, wide of the net, goes off the stick of netminder number 31, Borman. Controlling the play here as the Pens are making a change. And Easton Borman's going to pick up a penalty against the Junior American. So the hard work of Easton Borman creates a power play for the Pens Elite squad late in the first period. 27.5 on the clock. Riker Ferguson steps in. Offensive zone face-off here to start this power play. He's on with Blake Paris. Blake Paris, sneaky backhand shot towards the net. As we have 24.2 to go on the clock, 127 on the penalty call to the Junior Americans. We're going to do it again. As the netminder tried to cover up, but it was knocked loose here. Comes out in front of the net. It goes in the net. Riker Ferguson cashes in. And the Pens are going to take a 2-0 lead here late in the first period. Off the stick, I believe it was Riker Ferguson that gets the goal. So a PPG for PPE. 18.6 on the clock. There was only 8 seconds went off that power play. Same 5 on the ice here. Riker Ferguson, the goal scorer, stepping in, flanked by Paris and Green on the backside. Frankenfield and Nico Stark. Having some difficulty here with the clock. Ref says, don't worry about the penalty that's on the board. Plays back underway here, and Ferguson's looking for more. He's going to go around the skates of a couple of guys. Ferguson still has this puck, 10 on the clock now. As nice backhand pass over to the stick of Blake Bear. Shot taken, just covered up. It was loose, but it's going to be swallowed up there by the netminder with 0.7 seconds to go on the clock. So it looks like things are going to end here. Pens are pulling their goalie here to get 6 attackers on the ice. Getting switched up here. And that's going to be where the first period ends. 2-0 to score. Goal scorers Grant Loya and number 93, Riker Ferguson, made it 2-0. We'll be back here in a second. Live from the Hunt Armory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Puck is dropped here. Second period action resumes from the Hunt Armory with your Pens Elite squad up 2-0 over the Junior Americans from Rochester, New York. Puck's going to be brought back to center where CJ Nanavaiska now has it on his stick. He finds centerman number 74, Easton Borman. Borman drops it back for Loya here. Loya up to Gaworski off his stick. And still in the neutral zone here as Loya tries to retrieve this puck on to help out as Easton Borman and number 45, Gaworski. Gaworski chips it around him, man. He's going to come in one-on-one. Tried to hit his winger. That was Owen Mulligan. Left winger Owen Mulligan tried to drop it down deep in the zone. Goes off. May have went off a glove there. No whistle, though, as it's going to be brought back to the neutral zone by 86. He's pressured by Grant Loya now. He tries to lean on Grant, but the puck's going to be won now by number 74, Easton Borman. Borman's going to send it back to his D-man. That's Nanavaiska. Nanavaiska's going to chip it up, and he drives towards the net there, but puck's going to be tied up on the wall, and it just comes out of the zone, so it's going to be brought back to the center by Gaworski. Gaworski goes back to Grant Loya. Good skating there by number 43, Grant Loya. Looks like Grant's got some fresh legs there. Goes around a couple guys, tries a curl move, and it's going to be knocked off of his stick now. Loya's able to win this puck back here on the half wall, but number 7, Smith, is going to skate back to center. It's going to turn into a 2-on-1, but Owen Mulligan's on the back check, goes over his stick as he forces the man to the ground here, and that's going to be a penalty there for body contact. The Pens are going to go to the PK as Owen Mulligan is going to go to the box here. $13:29 to go in the second period. On to kill off this penalty. Looks like the PK unit will be number 8, Connor Wilson, number 3, Sawyer Phillips, 14, Noah Welch, number 4, Wyatt Frankenfield. Puck is dropped here, and it's tied up in the skates of a couple guys, but 98 Page, centerman for the Junior Americans, going to wheel it behind the net. Over to get to this puck is Welch. Welch is going to throw it up the boards here. Under pressure is Phillips. He's going to come back down to Noah Welch. He's going to wind it behind his net to his D partner. That's Owen Mulligan. Mulligan has some time now. He's going to send it up off the boards over the stick of Wilson, though. Goes off the stick of Welch there. Dangerous deflection in on Dragicic. Had to be alert. Over to get this puck is now it goes behind Dragicic. Over to get this puck is number 4, Frankenfield. Able to send it up to his winger. That's Connor Wilson. Wilson sends it up to 97. 97 drops it all the way down. Welch off the stick of Phillips and out of the zone here. As we approach the halfway point of the Mulligan penalty, 44 now to go on the body contact call to number 12, Owen Mulligan. Number 8, 97, wheels it around everybody. He goes around Welch now, and it's going to be swallowed up by number 29. That's Max Dragicic. Good save there on a good take by number 97. Pens are going to change up the PK unit here, taking the straw. Number 25, Blake Paris. He's on with forwards Brigham Green and the deep pairing of Loya and Stark. As we are under 18 now to go on the penalty call to Owen Mulligan. Plays at center now. It goes off the equipment of Blake Paris. As it's going to be a nice step up there by Grant Loya, breaking up the play. 12:04 to go in the second. 4 to go on the PK. Foot race here between Stark. He's forced into the wall there. Dangerous interference play here, and that's going to be a penalty here called against the Junior Americans. So just as the penalty was expiring to Owen Mulligan, the Pens are going to get a power play of their own. As Nico Stark is down, that was a dangerous play there. He was hit well before he was touching up this puck. So he's going to get himself to his feet as he's going to get some applause there. Nico Stark, tough kid, tough customer. Had his feet taken out, can opener style there as he was going back to play that puck. So we're going to send our best over there to left-handed defenseman number 7, Nico Stark. As he's going to get checked out here on the bench. As Ferguson's going to step in for this draw now. As it's going to be one over here to the near wall. As the Junior Americans working behind their own net there. It's going to be picked off nicely by Paris. Good move there. Power move to the net. Goes wide of the net, though. As it's going to come to the point man, right-handed defenseman, number 43, Grant Loya. He works around one guy, gets around 2 guys. It's knocked off of his stick now with 1:06 now to go on the Pens power play. It's Ferguson. He's going to try a power move as he tries to tuck it in. Doesn't get in on net now as from his knees, number 3 tries to clear the zone. It comes to Blake Paris. He's going to wheel it right back in. Nanavisa is going to pick it up. He's got Loya open. He goes to Loya. Loya's going to take that ice. Long shot taken wide of the net, though. 47 to go on the power play now. Ferguson's over to pick up this puck here on the half wall. Leaves it for Green. Green walks around a couple guys. He has the puck knocked off his stick now, as Ferguson is trying to back check to get to this puck and out of the zone, out of the reach of Nanavisa. He's run into now. Penn's going to have a two-man advantage here coming up as Nanavisa's knocked down. Max is going to go to the bench. Penn's have a 6-on-4 situation here coming up as they bring it back into the zone. Ferguson's going to walk in. He's got a couple guys going with him, though. It's knocked off his stick, and a whistle blows here. Penn's going to have 15 seconds of a two-man advantage as CJ Nanavisa was playing the puck, and he's knocked down by number 9. So on for this power play opportunity. Centerman Easton Borman, flanked by Mulligan, and just out of my sight line. I'm not sure who the right winger is there, but on with Frankenfield and number 14, Noah Welch. Everybody's talking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Snap back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Up there goes gravity. He's so mad, but he won't give up. That is he know. He won't have it. Just having some trouble here with putting the penalty time up on the clock. And that right winger just stepped into the frame. Number 45. That's Brooks Gaworski. So the Pens have the turkey on the table with the two-man advantage here as Frankenfield's going to walk in. He's takes a long shot. It's into the equipment there. Looks like Borman knocked it loose there, but official lost sight of the puck. Good shot there by number 7, Wyatt Frankenfield. So we're going to do it all over again. 10:33 to go in the second period. 8 seconds to go on the first penalty. It's going to go up to the point man. That's Wyatt Frankenfield. Coming out of the box now as a junior American player. As Borman, he walks around a couple of guys, shot over the net there. Good strong shot there by Borman. Pens have a minute 22 now of power play time. Rochester pretty deep in their zone. Pens can probably work it back to their D. They do. Frankenfield can't get a lot of wood on that, as it's going to be brought back to center as 86 is going to try and get around Frankenfield now, centering off the blocker of Dragosic here. Pens on the power play, though, as Owen Mulligan's going to knock this off the junior American stick briefly. And as he goes to work over to help out is Frankenfield. He runs into a man, and he's going to be rung up here for a call. Either a hooking call against, it may be Mulligan now going to the box for a hook. So that's going to negate the Pens power play. As we're going to play 4-on-4 here for the next 51 seconds. As 4-on-4 action gets started here, as Grant Loy is going to backhand it over to his deep partner, left-handed defenseman, CJ Nanavisa. Nanavisa is going to chip it up off the wall nicely to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips moves it up to Wilson. Try to work through the skates at 97. 97, though, talented customer. He's going to bring it right back into the Penn zone. Goes around everybody, retrieves this puck himself behind Dragosic. Centering pass, beautiful pass there by 97. Great pad save there by Max Dragosic. Flash in the right pad, and he shuts things down there. 2 quality saves there by Max Dragosic as Wilson's knocked to the ice. As he's having some trouble here getting up. He's going to work his way back to the bench. As we have 17 seconds of 4-on-4 action, Bingham Green's going to step in to take this draw, flanked by Paris. And on the backside, Loya and Nanavisa. Green's going to win this battle here. He's shoved a little bit by number 7. Arm goes up here as number 7 did a little too much of the business there from number 7, and he's going to go to the box. As the parade to the penalty box continues. As we're going to have 8 seconds of see what we got here. 8 seconds of 4-on-3 action. Then we'll have about 30 seconds of 4-on-4 action. And then another 40 seconds of Penguins power play time. 9:03 to go in the second period. Blake Paris steps in to take this draw. He's going to win it over to Bingham Green. A lot of room on the ice right now. A lot of ice to use. Loy's going to try and kick it back to that open ice to Bingham Green. We have 4-on-4 action now as it goes through the slot. As 97 steps up to pick up that pass, Loy's going to knock this out of midair and back down the wall. As Nenevisa is going to come over to try and keep this in, unable to do so. 2-on-1 develops here for the Junior Americans. Covering back, though, is Blake Paris. Good back check there by Bingham Green to break up the play. As it's going to be thrown back through the slot. Bingham Green's going to clean it up here ahead of the play now. Number 77, CJ Nenevisa, tries a curl move. He's going to stick with this. He's still 1-on-3. Lloyd's going to come in with him. Long shot. Still sitting in the crease there, covering the back door now is Blake Paris. And Gaworski, 2 forwards back here on defense, covering the backside. They work around him. 97 gets around Gaworski, goes in on net, in the net. Pens got caught in the offensive zone there. 2 forwards back on defense, and 97 slick little moves, able to work around the Pens forwards there and tuck it behind Dragicic with 8:11 to go. It's going to be a 2-1 game now, as good to see number 7, Nico Stark, back on the ice. 8:11 to go now, as I said. Borman's going to step in. Pens are going to now have a power play here, as Borman's looking to get this goal back on with Stark, Mulligan, Gaworski, and Frankenfield to round out the 5 on the ice for the power play right now, but it's going to be sent right back into the zone, but brought back to center. Easton Borman, he leans on a guy, loses his puck. He's going to force it behind everybody and go to work with Gaworski now. As it goes through everybody, Nico Stark, long shot taken off the mask, drops down in front, and it's going to be tucked in by Owen Mulligan off the hard shot of Nico Stark. And the Pens get one right back to make it 3-1. Owen Mulligan tucks it home to make it 3-1 for your 2015 Pens Elite squad. And so for the first time in a long time, there are no bodies in the penalty box. Puck's going to be won back by centerman Easton Borman. Back to Stark. Stark tried to carry it through center. He loses the puck, though. Picked up by Borman. Borman works it over to left winger. Number 12, Owen Mulligan. Mulligan bounces it off the wall. Back to Borman. Borman sends it back to Frankenfield. Frankenfield up to Gaworski. Gaworski tucks it in deep in the zone, and he goes to work now. As it's going to come over to the stick of Easton Borman. Borman, he loses his puck now. It's going to be off of a couple of sticks, so no icing here, as Stark's going to go back and try and pressure number 72 for the Junior Americans. Frankenfield covers in front of the net. As it's going to be wound up high in the slot and knocked off of a Junior American player by number 12, Owen Mulligan. He can't sustain possession of the puck, but he goes back and he gets it as it's going to come to open space here. Mulligan send it to Frankenfield. Frankenfield socked down. Over applying pressure on the near wall that's Easton Borman. Borman kicks it up to Gaworski now. Gaworski finds a streaking Owen Mulligan. He's coming in 1-on-3. He works around one guy. Guy falls down. Owen Mulligan, he's got some space, walks in. Shot taken off the right shoulder of netminder number 31. 6:34 now to go in the second period. 3-1 the score, as the Rochester Junior Americans send it through everybody. As Nenevisa is going to now send it up ahead. As it's going to be brought back to center by number 72, Peluzio. He's going to try to work it around Nenevisa. Sends it in behind everybody. Noah Welch is going to go back and retrieve this puck. He's got a little bit of time now, as he's going to kick it up off the wall. Back to the neutral zone. On to get that puck, though, is Riker Ferguson. Junior American's going to bring it right back in. Welch is going to hustle over to try and force his man wide. As the puck's going to kick up now to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips has a man ahead. It's Wilson. Goes off of his stick. It's going to go all the way down And far enough for icing here. So another D-zone face-off here coming up for the Pens. 5:37 now to go in the second period. Long second period with several penalty calls on both teams. As Borman's going to step in, flanked by Paris and Green on the backside. Noah Welch and CJ Nenavisa. As it's going to be forced back to center, Blake Paris has got to step. He's behind everybody. Junior American's trying to catch up. He's going to be knocked down. Still sticks with it. Gets a shot in on goal. Still loose. Still loose in the crease. Borman's on to pick this up. It's going to kick back to center as 86 trying to work around Nenavisa now. It's going to be knocked off of his stick. Penguin player falls down. I believe it was Bingham Green. As it's going to be brought back to number 19. 19's trying to work around Welch. He stops up. Welch stays right with him. 19's going to dump this deep now where Nenavisa is going to work on his man. That's number 19 trying to work around our 19. Bingham Green. It's going to be forced back to the point man. Number 7, Smith. He stays with it. Dances around a couple of bodies. He's going to bring it in. He's still dancing. He's going to be pressured now by Welch. Goes backhand through the slot off the skate of number 19, Bingham Green. Green's trying to get to this puck. As it comes to Easton Borman, he's going to cool things down here as he works it to the wall. And back to center here to defenseman number 7, Smith. Smith's going to go D to D over to his D partner. It looks like number 9. He's going to be forced to the wall by number 19. As the Junior American's going to bring this back in. Nenavisa is going to go back and retrieve this puck. He leaves it behind the net as Welch is going to go back and retrieve. He's going to face some pressure here. Sends it up to his winger. That's Blake Paris. Paris sticks with it. Can't get it further, though. It's going to be knocked right back to the stick of Nenavisa. Welch is going to tip this up now to Paris. Paris backhands it softly to space. Bingham Green's going to pick it up. Green's going to dump this deep and go for a change. Wholesale change here for the Pens as number 7, Smith's going to go back and pick it up. Pens able to complete this change and may even get a chance here off a steal, but it goes off Ferguson's body and out of the zone. Wheeled right back in by Owen Mulligan now. As number 86 for the Junior American sends it across the rink to D-man number 9. He's content to just send it all the way down the ice. That should be far enough for icing, and it is. So the Pens have an offensive zone face-off here coming up. Offensive zone face-off to be taken by number 93. That's Riker Ferguson, flanked by Mulligan and Gaworski on the backside. Grant Loya and Nico Stark. Puck's going to be won back to the stick of Mulligan. Mulligan leaves it for Loya. Steps around one guy. Sends it into open space here as it goes below the goal line now. It's going to be sent up the half wall. Number 21 for the Junior Americans. He sends it behind a couple of bodies. That's defenseman number 97, the goal scorer for the Junior Americans. That's going to work it up ahead into the Pens D zone. But good back check there by Riker Ferguson. Ferguson over to Stark. Stark centering pass attempt to Gaworski. It's going to be sent right back into the Pens D zone. Stark's going to have to go back and retrieve this puck once again. He stops up. Good skating there by Stark, but he's pressured now. He's going to send it over to winger number 12. That's Mulligan. Behind Gaworski, though, with that pass. And it's going to be thrown in ahead of the play for another offsides call. I feel so close to you right now. It's a false feel. So it's going to be brought back to center. Rochester Junior American player lined up on the wrong side there. Centerman number 3. He's going to step in and take this draw against the Pens. Number 74, Easton Borman. Borman on with Wilson and Phillips. On the backside, Welch and Frankenfield. As it's going to be sent into space by the Junior Americans here. As number 9 is going to work around a couple of bodies. Long shot taken. Max had to be alert there. Frankenfield's going to come back to help out. He has the puck knocked off of his stick now. He tried to get to Phillips. Phillips now in a puck battle with number 9. Also getting a stick in there as Welch. Welch is going to be tripped up there by a teammate as it's under Borman now. It's going to be shot in off the leg pad of Welch. Welch is going to hustle over there to try and get to this puck. It's going to be shot behind the net as Frankenfield's going to come behind the net. It's going to be reversed over to Welch. Welch has some space here. Gets his head up. He's got a man up ahead of the play. Goes over the stick of Phillips, though. As Peluzio, number 72, he works around a couple of bodies. And it's going to be sent in on net now as Borman sends it behind the net. Welch got Phillips. He sends it to Phillips. It's off his stick. Phillips tries to get it to Wilson. As it's going to kick back to center. Number 7 stops up. He works around Borman now. And it's going to be sent behind Dragicic once again, where Welch goes back against number 3. He's pulled down. He cancels his man out as it's going to be worked behind the net now. Still a lot of puck possession here for the Junior Americans in the zone on this shift. Long shot taken off of Sawyer Phillips. On to collect this puck is number 8, Connor Wilson. He's pulled down. Penalty's going to be called here. Official's arm went up a little late. Wilson's trying to handle it himself now, as he didn't like being tripped up there. But the Pens are going to be on the power play. Nope. No power play being called here. It's just going to be a D-zone draw there. My apologies, as it's going to be a penalty kill, as Wilson's going to go to the box there, actually, as that's the only penalty on the board. So the Pens are going to be tasked with killing this off, as Connor Wilson's in the box here for 1:30. Penalty killing unit consists of Green, Paris, Nanavisa, and Loya. Puck's now going to be worked behind the net by the Junior Americans. Pressure there by number 43, Grant Loya. Nanavisa nicely ties up his man in front of the net. It's going to kick over to Loya now. He gets the wheels going, as he's going to try and skate it up the half wall there. Runs into a couple of bodies. No further, as Grant, he's going to be knocked off the puck now, as stepping down from his D-man position, number 97, the goal scorer earlier for the Junior Americans. Had a couple in the Midwinter Classic as well against the Penn squad. As point shot taken, it's high in the slot now. Number 19 tries a backhand, a pass attempt, and that's going to be it for the second period. So the Pens escape here. They have 26 seconds of penalty kill time. And we'll be back here in a second. 3-1 the score, live from the Hunt Armory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, play resumes here in the third period, as 97 is going to work around a couple of Penguins. Gets around 2, can't get around the third. As the Pens now have 12 seconds to go on the Connor Wilson penalty. as he's getting ready here. He's looking for instructions here from the Pens bench. As Connor Wilson's back out of the box right now, 5-on-5 action. He goes to the bench, freshly on the ice. Centerman number 93, it's Riker Ferguson. As it's going to be brought back to the neutral zone here by number 12, Mulligan. Mulligan drops it back for Stark. Stark wheels it up to Mulligan. And it's going to be sent high over everybody. As Nico Stark goes back to retrieve this puck. Krieger is able to keep this in the offensive zone here for the Junior Americans. Kicks over to number 17. Now kicks high in the zone to number 97. Defenseman covered up there. Strong play. Kick loose there by 96 or 98. 98. As good save there. Alert save. Strong glove there by Dragicic to shut things down. Pens are able to fend off that penalty here to start the third period action. 13:48 now to go. Puck is dropped here. It's going to be one back to the Junior Americans. Stepping up, though, is number 77, Nenavisa. He's got a man ahead of the play. Tries to work to him. It's 2-on-1 develops there. Good pass by CJ. Finds Connor Wilson. He's got Phillips going to the net. Hits Phillips' stick just wide of the net, though. As in to crash that play is Borman. He loses his edge now. Pens working this puck down below the goal line. It's going to kick out to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips puts it in behind netminder number 31. Good 5-on-5 action there. Sawyer Phillips, the goal scorer. He wasted no time putting that rebound in. After Nenavisa started the rush there by stepping up, found Wilson. Wilson to Phillips. Rebound will eventually kick to the stick of Sawyer Phillips. He puts it in, and it's a 4-1 game there for your Pittsburgh Penguins elite squad. Sawyer Phillips. Play resumes here as Pens are looking for more here back in the offensive zone. 13-19 now to go in third period action. 4-1 the score. Same unit on the ice here for the Pens. Wilson's going to send it across. He finds Nenavisa. Nenavisa, he's got some ice here. He's going to take the ice. He's going to drop it down into the offensive zone. Backhands it off the left pad of netminder number 31. Rochester Junior Americans send it back to Phillips, who was covering the point smartly there. Smart play by the goal scorer, Sawyer Phillips. As it's going to be wound back to Easton Borman. Borman's looking to Welch. It goes to Welch. Welch is going to send it up through the neutral zone as Wilson's going to go for this puck. Pens are changing behind the play there as Wilson tried to drop it back for a teammate, but they were all changing behind the play. As one of those fresh bodies now has the puck, that's number 93, Riker Ferguson. As he's going to be rubbed off along the wall. Picked up by Blake Paris. Tried a seam pass attempt. Puck's going to be knocked off his stick. Finds the stick. Long shot taken by Bingham Green. Goes behind the net now. Trying to possess this puck is number 43. That's Grant Loya. He's going to send it up the wall. Covering the point was Blake Paris. He has this knocked off his stick. Loya, though, able to keep his man to the outside, and he comes away with the puck. Strong play by Grant Loya. He's got all kinds of space now. Sends it up to number 19, Bingham Green. Green touch pass over to Ferguson. 2-on-1 develops. Ferguson's going to take it in. He's going to be knocked off of his stick, though, here. He has it on the goal line. Still has this puck. As 97, the strong defenseman for the Junior Americans, is going to come out of here with this puck. And it's going to be wound out in front of the Junior Americans. Good back check there by number 25, Blake Paris. Knocked off his stick there. 97 tried to go through the skates of Stark. He's just going to force it ahead now where 86 is on. Where Noah Welch is going to go back and try and retrieve this puck. As it's going to be forced back out of the zone here, it's going to be an offsides call with 11:04 to go in the third period. On to take this draw, number 73, Easton Borman. He's going to be flanked by Mulligan and Gaworski on the backside. Frankenfield and Welch. Frankenfield's going to come over and pick up this puck. He's going to wheel it in front of the net to Welch. Welch has some space here. Welch is going to send it over to the stick of Mulligan. Mulligan's going to bring this in. He bounces it outside. He's going to leave it up the wall. Welch is going to try and push this deeper in the zone. He's still sticking with it. Still on the half wall here. As it's going to be forced back to the stick of Frankenfield. He takes a stick into his midsection here. He runs into a man along the wall. As it's going to be knocked free to number 7 for the Junior Americans. In ahead of the play there were a couple of guys. Neutral zone face-off here ensues. 10:20 to go in the third period. As the Junior Americans try to control here to get one back here. 4-1. Penn's controlling action here in the third period. 10:11 now to go on the clock. Loya's going back to work for this puck. He loses it now as 17 ties him up for the Junior Americans. Kicks over to number 98 for Rochester. It's going to come up the half wall now to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips is going to send this off the stick of Connor Wilson. Wilson leaves it for Ferguson. Ferguson, he's got a head of steam. He's going to bring it down the right side, down along the goal line. Saucer pass onto the tape of Sawyer Phillips. Phillips banks it off the backside of the netminder who lost his stick now. As it's going to be kicked back to center. As Sawyer Phillips is going to bring this up ahead now. He slows down, finds Wilson behind the slot. Connor Wilson tucks it home over the shoulder of the Junior American netminder. Pretty feed there by Sawyer Phillips, and Wilson tucks it in. A pretty shot there by number 8, Connor Wilson. And the Pens take a 5-1 lead here as we approach the midpoints of the third period. 9:20 to go in the first of 3 against the Junior Americans. As Easton Borman's going to step in to take this draw. Flanked by Wilson and Phillips. The Wilson-Phillips line. Cash is in again here for the Pens Elite squad. As we get a puck battle here in the neutral zone. As the Junior Americans trying to work around a couple of bodies. Off the left shoulder, Dragosic. As the Junior Americans going to tuck this now behind the goal line where Easton Borman is going to go back. He backhands it up ahead to Wilson. Wilson to Phillips. Phillips is going to come in one-on-one. He bounces outside. He stops up looking for a teammate. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson was looking for the point man. Nobody was home, though. As coming over to get to that puck is number 7. That's Nico Stark now with it. Stark's going to make a nice little pass up ahead to Borman. Borman over to Wilson. Wilson goes back to Borman. Borman leans on a man. Still in there. And it's going to be kicked into the net by the Junior Americans. And that goal scorer is going to be number 74, Easton Borman. Borman with a strong take. He leaned on a man there, protecting the puck. Sailed it into the slot, and the Junior American player pushed it into his own net, but Borman will take it. It's a 6-1 game here for your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite team. Now on to take this draw. Ferguson flanked by Paris and Green. On the backside, Welch and Nenevisa now. As it's going to be thrown up here right in front of the Rochester Junior American. Man steps around Ferguson, but good back check there by, that's Bingham Green to try and keep it in the zone here. As the Junior Americans are going to try and dump this deep. But back to get this puck is Riker Ferguson. He's going to peel back, reverses it over to Bingham Green. Green's going to try and get out of the zone, though. It's going to be held in nicely by number 97. Foot race here between Welch and the Junior American. Welch is going to get to this puck first. He's He's going to send it up off the wall. No further, though. Where Nenevisa comes over to help out. Eventually finds the stick of Riker Ferguson. He's going to be tied up along the half wall now. Where Nenevisa is going to send it up ahead to number 19. That's Bingham Green. He's got Welch going with him. Sends it over to the stick of Welch. Welch takes a shot wide of the net. As we are under 7 to go here in the third period, 6-1 the score. Nico Stark's going to hustle over trying to get this puck. As it's going to be knocked into space by 97. He walks around Nenevisa, and he makes no mistake about it. 97 with his second goal of the game, shoots it over the left shoulder of Max Dragosic. It's going to be a 6-2 game now. Pretty shot there by number 97 for the Rochester Junior Americans. Puck is dropped here as the Junior Americans able to get one right back. Hence, we're controlling play in the third period as we approach 6.5 to go here from the Hunt Armory. Very historic facility located in the heart of the city of Pittsburgh. Right before this game, there was a pretty crowded free skate. So a lot of people enjoying the ice here on a Saturday afternoon in the city of Pittsburgh. But it's your Pens Elite squad ahead of the Rochester Junior Americans. 6:04 now to go as it's going to be sent high in the slot now, picked off by Krieger, number 21. Shot off the skate of, that's number 7, Nico Stark. He's going to leave it for Gaworski. Trying to stay onside. Was Mulligan unable to do so, though. So we have another offsides call against the Pens Elite squad. Neutral zone faceoff coming up, 5:51 to go. And it's Ferguson on with the Wilson-Phillips pairing. On the backside is Welch and Frankenfield. Ferguson tries to step around a couple of guys. Welch comes over to try and knock it off the stick at 98. He's going to try and force his man wide. He stays with him. Goes high in the zone now where number 12 is going to pick it up. It's knocked off of his stick nicely by Ferguson. It's going to be dumped down behind everybody. Frankenfield's going to come over to help out. High to number 97. He's looking for his third of the day. It's going to be shot off of a stick and into the back of the net behind goaltender Dragosic. 97 gets his hat trick. As a soccer ball comes onto the ice here. As it's a 6-3 game with 5:29 now to go in the third period. Going to go D to D. Welch sends it over to Frankenfield. Frankenfield has it knocked off his stick. It's going to go to Riker Ferguson. He loses the puck now. As Phillips is going to try and headman this puck. He's got Wilson. Wilson's in all alone. He's faced some pressure there. Followed on by Ferguson. Shot through the crease there. Good hustle there by Wilson and Ferguson to create something. As it's going to come high in the zone here and into the neutral zone. Welch is going to hustle over to get to this puck. He's going to backhand it into space. As he's going to come over and now pick up this puck. Number 14, Noah Welch, left-handed defenseman for the Pens Elite squad. He stops up, leaves it for his winger. That's Phillips. Phillips is going to get this up to Wilson now. As Wilson's going to be run into, as it looks like number 7's going to take a penalty with some body contact. As the Pens are going to be rewarded here late in this game, 4:22. They're going to have a power play coming up. As Easton Borman's going to step in for this draw. Also on the forward grouping is Bingham Green, who takes that shot wide of the net. Hard shot by Bingham Green. Defenseman CJ Nanavisa hustles over to keep it in the zone. Also on the power play right now is number 25, Blake Paris. He goes back to retrieve this puck. He's going to wind it up in the neutral zone. He's going to kick it over to Nanavisa. Nanavisa is going to be forced to the wall. As it's going to be number 19 that tried a centering pass. Good stick there by number 29, Max Dragosic. Pens are going to try and transition here. That's Easton Borman carrying it through center with some speed. Has the puck knocked off his stick, though, but following on is Blake Paris. Tries a seam pass, picked off, though, by the Junior Americans. They're going to try Loya. Good stick there by Grant Loya. Good hustle getting back on that play to knock that wide of the net. Pens have 34 to go on the power play. Nanavisa leaves it for Loya. Loya has that knocked off of his stick, but it comes to Blake Paris. Paris sends it back to center. Going back for this puck is number 74, Easton Borman. As we approach 3 minutes to go, 13 seconds to go on the power play for the Pens. Pens are going to change up their personnel. Bingham Green's going to dump it in and go for a change. Under 3 to go, 6-3 to score. Pens over the Rochester Junior Americans. As it's going to be knocked down by a high stick by number 45. That's Brooks Gaworski. So it's going to be brought back all the way into the pen zone to the left of netminder number 29, Max Dragosic. On to take this draw, number 93. That's Riker Ferguson. As it's going to go behind netminder Dragosic now. Nico Stark tried to go to his D partner, Frankenfield. He loses the puck, though, behind the slot now. Shot taken in the net by number 98. And it's going to be a 6-4 game here. So things definitely tightening up. We go low to high. And it's going to be put back into the net behind Dragosic. Not much that Max can do about that one. Wide open in the slot. As 2-goal game again. 2:35 to go. Borman's going to step in for this draw. Borman's going to force this up ahead. Wilson's going to be knocked to the ice here. He looks for a penalty. Nothing called. As the Junior Americans definitely have some momentum, which was once a 6-2 game here, as Page is going to try and work around Nanavisa. It's going to be bodied into by Wilson. It's going to be a penalty here. I believe this is going to go against number 8. Connor Wilson's going to go into the box for body contact. So with 2:15 now to go, what was once a 6-2 game late in the third period is now a 6-4 game, and the Pens are going to be tasked with killing off a penalty here. So we're going to be to the right to netminder number 29, Max Dragosic. Correction, we're going to move it to the left side. On to kill off this penalty, Sawyer, Phillips, Borman, Nanavisa, who just took a slash to the back of his legs. As 21 Krieger steps up, he's going to battle Welch now. As 97, with a trio of goals, sends it to his D partner that deflects through everybody. 2 to go on the clock now, 1:15 to go on the penalty call. As it's going to go through everybody, still sitting there. Welch is able to get this out of danger. He's going to take it behind the net. He gets his head up. He's going to have this knocked off of his stick. Gets it up to Phillips. Phillips clears it back into the neutral zone now. 97, the D-man with wheels, is going to try and bring it in. Welch is going to come over, knocks it off of his stick, takes it away. Sends it up off the wall, though. where Phillips is going to get this back to the neutral zone. Penn's going to change up the forward group. 39 to go on the Wilson penalty. Good stick there by Nenevisa. It's going to go off the stick of Welch now. Welch sends it off the wall to Paris. Paris can't get it further, though, as 97 keeps it in. Long shot off the left shoulder of Welch. As we approach the 1 minute mark in the third period, 1:04 now to go. Goes off of Welch's stick. Welch backhands it to the wall now as we're under one, as Paris is able to force this back to the neutral zone. Applying some pressure is Ferguson. 10 seconds to go and counting, as Nenevisa and Welch are going to go back. As it's going to go from Nenevisa to Welch. 2 seconds to go. 1 second. We're back to 5-on-5 action. Dangerous pass there by Noah Welch. As it's going to kick back to the Penn's D zone, where 97 is going to wheel things up here as he's trying to bring it in. Looked like he had a man ahead of the play, and he does. It's going to be 21.9 to go.
This here's a tear for all the fellas trying to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Play hard to get.
So we are down to under 20 now, as the Junior Americans, number 72, tries to bring it around Nico Stark. Stark comes away with that puck. Backhands it behind the net. That's number 43, Grant Loy, that picks it up. We're under 10 now, as Grant wheels it behind the net. It's going to go off the wall to his winger, Blake Paris, under 5 to go. As the Pens are going to walk out of here with a 6-4 victory over the Junior Americans. As the end was a little bit tighter than the Pens probably would have hoped, as they got up to, I believe, a 6-1, 6-2 game, and the Junior Americans applied some pressure here. And that's where things are going to end. So we'll see you back here later tonight for matchup number 2. As the Pens walk out of here, 6-4 is the